We get a green dot. Life might be good. Okay, we're going to give people a few minutes to get on in here. It usually takes a minute to catch up with itself anyway. And I think Justin Couch is still broadcasting right now, so we'll give him a chance to finish up as well. I think I'm going to press that button. As Klesh has showed up. Good to see you, Klesh. We're just getting started here, making sure all the buzzers and whistles are working. And we're going to sell some coins, or at least offer them for sale. Here we go. We got a couple, 3 people in here. Ispy, also known as Candy. Shay Hoffmaster, he gave me the best compliment you ever had in your life right there. He won last week's coin class giveaway. And I think we're ready to roll. Got a new camera yesterday, and I needed that so I get a widescreen, as you see over here. I've got the scope, and the scope works great, but you know, you can't get the whole coin in there. I can get most of a Lincoln cent. So I went with a widescreen, and it's a peach. Man, I can run around with that darn thing. Chris Hurley has showed up. We'll get a few people here. That's going to be Layla. Good to see you. Now, the way this works, well, we're going to do everything through email. And if I can get this to show up right, let me see if I can see what you're seeing. Yes, that's good. I'm going to show you some coins, tell you what the price is, and if you're interested, you can always go to my email. It's right up here, and order through there. Once you ask for it, I'll make sure I have it, get back in touch with you, and send a PayPal invoice. I do a lot of business through PayPal, so I don't want to mess with friends and family. Taking the chance of getting slapped or spanked by PayPal would really screw me up. So would you send a request by email? I have the coin. Yeah, I can get it to you. But we'll do the PayPal. And that offers buyer protection for you and seller protection for me. Victor's come on in. Good to see you, Victor. Victor had an auction earlier today. We get a few people in. It's late at night, and I wanted to do it at midnight because this is a new thing. If you just watched Couch's channel a few minutes ago, he got into all the new things that are going on, and coins on YouTube are a bit new, and we're just exploring what it offers as potential. And I thought I would get into direct coin sales and see where that goes. If it works, I'll go to prime time, like Saturday afternoon after coin class, or prime time sometime in the week. But this is kind of an experiment. We don't know where it's going to go, but it's certainly it's going to go somewhere from here for sure. Brian Barry showed up. Good evening, Mr. Barry. Brian Barry had the Barry specimen in the 14D, and I've got to get that one shown off to a bunch of people soon here. We could probably get started here, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Let me go over. I look like a newscaster here. How to order. You're going to order through email. That's right up here. From there, I'm going to send you a PayPal invoice to give each other, buyer protection and seller protection. I've got a number of coins here. Some are available in several pieces, several lots. A lot of them are individual coins and some one-of-a-kind things in here. So let's get going here. I'm going to move this guy off to the side. I like these copper rounds. They really show off. Those are $2. Okay, we're going to start off the night. If I can get this camera to work right. So far, so good. It's upside down to me. Okay, the first items we have today are 2007 satin quarters. These are P and D, P on the top and D on the bottom. But I've got, let's see, 4 sets of these available. Now, if you want the whole set, it's 10 coins. And let's see, Washington, nope. Yes, Washington, Wyoming, Idaho, Vermont, and Montana. They're $1.50 each, and I can break up a set or 2 sets as need be. But all 10 is $12. And we can put one of these under the scope, which I have to move. I have to change the picture here. One moment. You see the difference in the Saturn. See, the Saturns are burnished. This is your regular old quarter. And he looks good, George does. But the Satins, you can see quickly the difference in appearance. They're satiny. They're very smooth. The planchets are burnished beforehand, and the dyes are specially prepared to give it this very smooth and even finish. And it scatters the light rather than reflecting it. I'll put it side by side here, but it's a distinctive look. Now, in 2007, they only had 895,000 minted, and you can see the difference in George's had in the fields versus what you have over here. They're a great looking coin, quite low as far as the mintage figures go. And you can replay the video, and I'll probably still have it available. Let's see, we have 4 sets of 10 coins for $12 or $1.50 a piece. Now we'll go back to home, go on to the next one. They're up here. Alrighty. Lots of BU wheats out there, but not many people are paying attention to BU Canadians. They're just as beautiful as the wheats, but harder to find and harder to get because there aren't that many Canadian collectors. So I've got 1958 in BU, and I'll put one over here into the scope. There are 16 of these available at $2 a piece. Of course, you have the Young Elizabeth on there, and the back is your standard Canadian design with the Maple Leafs date and 1 cent. Next up is 1960. Oh, I went to show off the nice lady over here. Here she is. And they'll be BU. There won't be gems, but they're quite nice. A lot of polishing goes on some of these Canadian cents, but you do have outstanding surfaces. And you got good detail on the hair. They're uncirculated, brilliant. You get the original mint luster. And on the back, of course, are the maple leaves. Isn't that pretty? Alrighty. Now, Canadian coins are a great way to go, really. You can assemble a complete set at a fair price. Put that back down here. And it's taken off. People are getting interested in these Canadians. Okay, 1960 small date is what's next. If I can get these in the photo. Okay, you got 4 years have small dates. 1960 PD, as well as the Prusse on the P. That's for large and small. 1970, San Francisco only has a small date. 1974, all 3 dates, but nobody cares because they're pretty much even numbers. And all your 1982s. Now the 1960 small dates, we'll have a look here. And I gotta zip back over. There we are. Now the big scope that I was using, the webcam, that gives you a wide angle. The little scope, which is on that side, well, I guess it's on this side, but it doesn't matter where it is. You get the idea. The big scope does well for the color. The small does well for the detail, but it exacerbates a whole lot of things in there. But there's a small date, you'll see. And I got my pointy stick already at the ready. Here we are. On the large date, the top of the S will swoop over. The 0 is larger, and the 9's a little bit taller. But it's a great looking coin. And these are all BU. And there are 9 available, and they're $6 a piece. If you want to take all 9, I'll understand. Let me put that back. And we'll move on and keep on going. Now, if there's anything else you want to see, more close-ups of, just let me know, because I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat. Looks like Laura has showed up. Beth Coddington was able to stay up. I've been hitting the coffee myself. Probably have to take a break in about 20 minutes. And Mudswat's come on in. Matt SR, good to see you. That's a new name. John Bass has made it in. Outstanding. We'll get off to a good start. Some of these coins you really want to see close up, especially when I get to those over there. Next item on the list is 2005. I can't read this. I need to type this. No, midnight coffee is always good. I never sleep. I nap. That works just fine for me. 2005. Oh, that's this. I'll just move it to the camera because it's going to be a whole lot easier. You saw the satin quarters. I'm on the wrong scope. How about now? There we go. You saw the satin quarters. I've got a number of satin cents. These are 2005s, and I'll put that under the scope here in a bit. And again, you have just superior finish on these. And in 2005, the mintage was 1.1 million. So you got to get into like the matte proofs, the 1909 SVDB, the 31S, to get lower mintages than these satins. You turn that right side up, which is actually upside down to me. They're terrifically overlooked. Now these are $2 a piece. I do have some gem specimens, but I'm selling those individually. Now I'm going to put this over here under the scope so we can have an idea of what we're looking at. Okay, the gems, they're nicer. This is just a regular old choice. And $2 a piece is a pretty darn good price. These are in the original mint holders. What am I doing? I got this big thing over here. Right, these are in the original mint set holders, still in the cellophane. So you know they're from the mint set, which is what the blue line is over here. These are Philadelphia. And I can get to about 2 inches away from that camera. There you go. But because it's in the cellophane on the close-up, you're going to see some circular marks, which are where the cellophane has been compressed, like over there above Liberty. Those marks are actually on the cellophane. Let me grab another BU coin so we can compare that finish. That is, okay, that's a 1960 small date. And you compare that finish to this finish. See the evenness of the field? You don't get plating blisters on these. They're burnished, they're polished. They're great looking coins. You really want to have those in your set if you want a complete set of Lincolns. $2 a piece, you're going to find is a pretty darn good price. I got them for a good price, so I can pass that along. Beth Coddington says, do we let you know here or just email? Right here, well, not right there. Right here, you're going to find my email address. I don't have somebody helping me or keeping track, so auctions are going to be very difficult. It'll rather sidetrack me from showing these pieces. A lot of them you're going to see, they're kind of nice. So we'll just do any transactions through email. I'll send you a PayPal invoice. This assumes that I have it, because somebody else might say, I'll take that, and they beat you to it. Pretty much first come, first serve. And with the PayPal, you get buyer protection. We go from there. Of course, keeping track of all the paperwork is a lot easier as well. I'm going to put that 2005 back, because I've got, this is just one tray, which you can see here, and I've got 3 more, so we're a quarter of the time into it, so we'll keep on moving here. Next item is the 1955 Canadian coins. These are also BU cents, they're right under the 1958s, and that's this row here. If I can straighten that out, there we are. And again, brilliant uncirculated. When you start getting into the 50s, these BU Canadians start to go up a bit in price. These are $3 each for the 1955s. Just as much brilliant luster as you could expect. You've seen BU Wheats and BU Memorials. Well, get the BU Canadians. Everybody picks them out of rolls, and that's great, but they're, you know, brown and circulated. Let's have a look at what she looks like when she's brand new. Because it's as shiny as a new dime, except it's, you know, 1 cent. There we are. Isn't she gorgeous? This is back when she was young, and well, she wasn't much to look at then either. But you ought to see Victoria. She's hideous. I've got one over here to show you there too. But you got great finish. The same sorts of things happen with Canadian coinage as ours. There's woodies, there's clashes, all sorts of issues. But these are pretty much problem-free, you'll find. And I've lost it. 1955 Canada, $3 each. Oh, the $2 each is the 54S coming up. You're going to find $3 price for these is pretty darn reasonable. And there are 16 available. So get one for your kids. Okay, 54S is, where is it? That must be these. I'm on the wrong screen again. Yeah, we'll bounce back and forth. I've got to actually look and see which ones are which. That's the 54S. Okay. Well, they get a little shuffled around. That's all right. We know where to find them. Now, 1954 was a very good year. My sister's husband was born in 54. Now, there are 6 units available. They're all right here. Brilliant uncirculated, original luster. These are spotless beauties. And I get the light just right. I could show you, the cartwheel on these. And the camera, I can get it to zoom, but I gotta go like this and get my center correct. Let's have a look at the close-up. These are $2 a piece. Let's see if they're worth it. What do you say? Here's the scope. There you go. You will find, okay, this one's no good. He's got some scratch. Never mind this one. I have 5 of these available, and all 5 are beautiful. How's that for recovery? Let's look at this one. Okay, you will find a small blemish on occasion. Contact marks are minimal. I think you might have something just behind his ear, light contact. So yeah, these are pretty much choice, but a few small blemishes on occasion. They're not gem, but they're quite nice. Let's look at the back on that. Clean, sharp detail in the wheat lines. Great rim. An occasional blemish as you see beside the E. And $2 a piece. Those will look so good in your folders. Maybe not that first one. Yeah, we'll set that aside. Here we are. Next up is 55D. And that is these here. There are 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. They are all, let me get that up. They are all in front of us here. There we are. And they are as good as the 54S's or better. You will find some small blemishes on there. So you've got full red, I mean just candy apple red on these. Maybe not candy apple. I think they're more pink when they're brand new. And let's look at the close-up. Here we are. 1955D. Good looking, great looking pieces. These are pretty well struck. A lot of times in the 55s, the dies get worn. You'll get cracks in the head. Some die deterioration around the 5s. They call it poor man's double die. They sell for $100 on eBay if somebody's crooked. They're not worth that. They're worth like, $1 or $2. And crisp lines. And that's an example there. The 1955D. Oh, that's $1. That's $1 deal for the day. Every now and then I get these really good prices and offer them up at $1. Yeah, for $1, would you take one of those? Now shipping is dependent on the weight. For individual coins, it's $3 for as many coins as you can stand. I'm not worried about shipping if you're getting individual coins. When we start getting into sets, rolls, albums, folders, and supplies, then it's dependent on weight. And you'll find a link down below, right down here, that'll further describe exactly what the shipping terms are. You'll find them pretty darn reasonable. I ship USPS first class, and that'll do me up to 12 ounces. I can go to 16, but the price jumps to $4. And that's about what it cost me. Over 16 ounces, I've got, I got to turn this upside down. Over 16 ounces, I go to priority mail. And I get small rate boxes, small flat rate boxes, flat rate envelopes. There we go, that's those. And we're talking $7.50 on the shipping on those, because I've got to drive, 30 miles to the post office and back. There we go. And I'll get these in. And if it's really, really heavy, We can go to a medium flat rate box, $13.50. I mean, you know, you've seen them. They'll fit 5,000 wheats or something. Let's go back to the home and we get our next sets. Now, some of these I've got encased. We're going to start with, here we got some nicer pieces. I've got a 1961 proof Franklin. Now, this is a gem proof. The price here is $25. All right. The only real blemish I can find is behind his head, and you got to search for that. The rest of it is just immaculate. We'll flip this baby around and have a look at it. I've got deep mirrors. Not much for cameo. Great, brilliant finish across the whole thing. This is a 1961, I believe. Yes, 1961. And that's a proof. Let me get over here. Somebody was saying something. That says, wow. Yes, it's $25. Get it while you can. Smash that like button. Those are beauts. If you see something you like, email me right up here, kpv@live.com, and we'll work out the details, because that's all it's going to be, is just little details. And I can put that in a loop if you like. Now, all the half dollars I have are in these 2x2 acrylic holders. They fit in, they'll fit perfectly in your 2x2 boxes. They won't fit in pocket pages, but that's going to protect the coin just as nice as you please. The vinyl flips are outstanding. I have these as well. They're $8 per 100. Those are wonderful flips. I don't use cardboard anymore. There's no staples here anymore, because what a staple will do to that is a crime. Now, if I can open this up with a rubber glove on, that would be a miracle. Look at that, we got it. And let's look at that under the scope. And this is why, nope, that's wide view. This is why I have the widescreen, because the scope just doesn't do it justice. However, you can have a look. These are outstanding quality pieces. Thank you, Victor. Email kenpv@live.com. And here is that blemish behind the head. Well, I'm going to have a hard time finding that blemish behind his head. Well, I said it's there, so I'm sure it's there. Huh. Well, it looks pretty good. Now, with these, I can just pick that baby up by the insert. It's a foam insert here, so I don't have to actually handle the coin. Now I can flip it right over, and we'll take a look at the other side. How's that? Ta-da! You can almost read it, right? Pass and Stowe. Pass and Stowe. It was John Pass and John Stowe. They were silversmiths in Philadelphia who built this, who did the pouring on this Liberty Bell. They struck it for a few years, and she cracked wide open. So it has a die crack, but that's built in. That's a real peach. And these acrylic holders, if you want to keep something nice and decent for a long time, these are hard to beat. They're probably I would say, the best container out there for your valuable coins. Now, these are 50 cents a piece, but on the proofs, I'm including them. Okay, next item. Oh, let's get gotta jump to the big camera. There we go. Next item. Now I go from big to little. Only not too little, kind of little. I've got a 1807 half cent. Ain't she beautiful? Isn't she gorgeous? I got a deep dark color on this, rich chocolate. I've got very fine, or not very fine, I've got fine detail here, but there is a slight flaw right behind her ear. Let's put her under the scope. 1807 was a very good year. I think Thomas Jefferson was still president. Now, the mintage on these, you're going to find these half cents to be an incredible bargain. The mintage on these in 1807, 476,000. If that was a Lincoln cent, it'd be an SVDB. Okay, and this one was in the fine condition, and you'll see a slight scratch behind her ear. Okay, just under her ear. Oh, it's her hair. And I can get in there, right in here. That's about it. These old guys, these are 100% copper. There's no tin and zinc in these. A lot of times, what happened, the people back then would shave just a little piece off that edge of the coin, keep it in a pouch when they had enough. They, geez, I got free copper, a free penny. So a lot of these older large cents and the continental coinage, they're all screwed up around the rim. This one has a full, even rim all the way around. 1807 had a mintage of 476,000. But according to PCGS, their population figure suggests only about 800 of these survive, giving it a rarity of 5.4. Well, you can look for them, and you'll find anywhere from 6 to 10 of these being offered up for sale each year. And that's a half cent, 1/200. It's a good looking coin. I like it. I hate to part with it, but I want to make this this show work well. I put that back in here. I don't have an acrylic holder, so that'll go out in vinyl. Okay, and the price on that one is $125. There are 800 of them. You're going to find these half cents, these rape bust coins in particular, to be incredible values. Now, not a lot of people collect them, but they're not making any more. The ones that they have aren't getting any better. Okay, the next item over here, I've got another Franklin. Let's have a look at him. I just took the cover off. This is a 1958, and this is brilliant uncirculated. Now, there's a bit of toning you can see right behind his head, and on the top of his head, if I could angle that right, that's it. This is a real peach. If you like good-looking bennies, this is a good-looking benny. I want to flip that over in the widescreen. And again, just a touch of toning. The brilliant luster on this. It does not have full bell lines. Nonetheless, it is blast white. Almost as white as the real shirt I put on. Now we'll switch over and take a close look here. And the scope, here we go. Alrighty. You've got great surfaces. There's a bit of toning there. Perfect cheek. Top of his hair is sharp. And 1958 is the date. We've got a price here of $20. Okay, well, sometimes the inserts come out, so I'll flip it over using the acrylic holder. I meant to get some more coin spatulas made. I picked up some more foam. Here we are. Not quite full bell lines. I got a couple of contact marks which are breaking those up. But 1958, you can see it's Philly. And that is a heartbreaker, that one. Because when it leaves, it's going to break my heart. Next up, I've got, oh, remember those hideous Victorias? She was, I'm sure, a pleasant queen, but she wasn't much to look at. Here we are, right in here. Very dark color on this. This is an 1858 Canadian large cent. Now, then you think about the Canadian cents. If you flip them head over tail, it's upside down. On these, you have to flip them left to right. See the way that works? Their axis is parallel on the dies. But in 1858, this baby is lost. Choice BU. Oh, that's 1958. That's the Franklin right next door. Okay. I've got very good as a condition on this. And we get into the details in the hair and on the ear that will determine their condition. Let's have a look here. There she is. Even youthful, she was kind of plain. I think it's the chin. At this point in 1858, she only had the single chin, which worked to her advantage. That's Canada. Canada, Victoria, Dei Gratia. The grace of the, I don't know what that means. It's in French. And her friend Vagina. Let's have a look at the back. And again, we'll flip it side to side. And that is 1 cent, 1858. Very good detail. So the Canadians, the rims are a bit higher up than on the U.S. coins. So even in very good, you still have a fantastic amount of detail remaining on these. Okay, and the price there was $50. Let's look over here at the next one. We've got some 2 centers coming up, 1865 and 1870. Now these are starter 2 centers. If I can get these in camera, which will be just a moment here. There's one, 1865, and next door. So I'm about to push this off the table, so I'm getting nervous. And I've got an 1870 beside that. Now 1865 was a very good year. The war came to an end. At the start of the year, Abe Lincoln was still president. After that, it was Johnson at the end of the year. Now we can put that under the scope. As you can see, I've got a fairly considerable stain on this, and on the back as well. So this is a starter piece. On the 1870, strong wear, but it's even wear. You're usually hard pressed to find these 2 centers with even wear. It's just the way they used them back then. They kept them in pouches and pockets. And pockets weren't really all that common. Anyway, the 1865 is $9. Got better detail on there, but I've got the stains. So for very good condition, that's a pretty darn fair price. And these are terrifically undervalued. The 1909 SVD, you've got 62,000 or so survivor population for all of the 2 centers. PCGS figures estimated by something like 70,000 surviving population. And you can pick these up for $10. The 1870 here is a filler. I've got $7 price on the 1870 and a $9 price on the 1865. If you have not seen these, oh geez, go get yourself one. 2 cents right on the back. Okay, that's hard to see. How about in the back of this? There you go. You've got Longacre's wreath and the Union shield with flares on the front. Let's have a look under the scope at what we're looking at. If I can line them up. There it is. See, it's just too darn big to get the whole thing. This is the first coin that had "In God We Trust" written on it. Well, the whole idea is, middle of the war, if God is with us, who then could be against us? And here's, of course, the shield with arrows, wreath, and laurels. 1865. On the back is the harvest wreath, wheat, real pretty, and the big giant too right in the middle. But here you can see that's this stain. Good detail. There's no problem with that. Even I've got dentals on this, but it's kind of sloppy with that stain in there. Okay, let's move on. Oh, maybe give you a quick look at 1870, and you'll understand we do have a pretty considerable amount of wear here. "In God We Trust" is barely visible. It has some pitting, but it does have solid outlines, a solid rim, a clear, crisp, clear date. Alrighty, and we'll go from there. Let me check on chat. Amber says, "Do I have any Morgan dollars?" I do not. I have a fellow who swoops in every couple of months and takes every bit of silver that I have. And he's learned where I hide it. Got any over there? Got any in that drawer? No, no. Get your hands off of there. But he pays full retail, so I really don't say no to him for much. Let's see, today I've got a couple of Benjamins. And that's the extent of my silver offerings this evening. Oh, I've got another one coming up. Okay, the next item is, ooh, I had to have a dive right in here. I opened a BU roll of 57D, and I found 17 of these. Okay, these are, oh, I took it off the top. These are brilliant, straight out of the mint roll. Well, not the mint roll, just the bank roll. Full red, brilliant luster. And let's have a look at what I'm talking about. For this, we're going to go deep. Excuse me. This is a DDO #1. Okay, you'll see a big fat 7, which we've got here. You're going to find some extra thickness on In God We Trust, but a lot of the activity is going on in Liberty. Now you can see the finish and the sparkle here. Brilliant pieces. So let's get down and dirty and look at that 57. I've shown these before. And the detail is quite precise, but the camera is up to the task. You're going to find on the left side of R, T, and Y just a bit of doubling, which you can see hopefully on the bottom of the R and the leg, also on the T. I might tilt that just a bit. And the Y, now it works better with a loop. You can see a whole lot more with a loop than you can on the cameras. The cameras are good, but digital technology needs to go one more iteration. Oh, and you see the die chip in the lower part of the B. Where'd my pointy stick go? There we go. And right in, if I can get my pointy stick here. There you go. Right in the bottom of the R. I can cast a bit of a shadow here, and it helps. I'll have to move this away from me. And same thing on the left side of the Y. And that is, it's got all the markers, and it's a good match. Well, perfect match for double die #1. This guy is $7. Come back here. I'm gonna have to refocus my camera here. There we go. And there are about a dozen available. I sold a couple, and I probably want to keep a couple. This one, let's see where we are. 1931S. Now you want a good key date. 1931S is it. Collectors at the time realized these were going to be quite rare. And after the experience with the 1909S and SVDB, they got snatched right up. I have a very fine specimen here. Good even color. And we'll put that under the loop so you can see exactly what's going on. Beth Coddington, I think you have 30 days. I offer 30 days to build a package and combine all the shipping in that one package. Now, until you pay, that invoice is open so I can add items to it. Okay, we're going to take a look at this under the scope because it is a key date. So if you don't like something you see today, I might have it. I'm definitely going to have things in the coin out group. That's not focusing. Well, it's not on the right scope, dummy. Here we are. And you have a good look at this baby right here. I've got clear, crisp separation on the cheek and jaw, light wear on the top of the ear. I've seen XF that had less detail than this. However, I do have above the date in the field, I do have a bit of a mark. And the wheat ears in the back, I think they could be fuller for VF, but these are pretty darn decent. Getting the light right takes a bit. Separation of the berries, just starting to blend together, but the lines, wheat lines, are full all the way to the top. There we are. And again, the tone is almost a light brown all the way across, even, and the wear is even. And this 31S could be yours for $75. And you can hunt around. You might do better, but you might not. And this one's right here in front of you. This will be available until it sells. Okay, jump back over here. Beth says, I hope so. I got a bunch of stuff. Oh, God love you. Marty found 3 of those 57s, BU, and 2 bankrolls. Outstanding. I like those BU rolls because if you find one, a lot of times you find several. And $7 for that 57 DDOs, not a bad price. If you want a good quality, easy to see double die at a fair price, that's probably gonna be that's what I have to offer right now. Let me get this out of the way. Next up, we have Booker T. Washington in silver. Isn't he a handsome fellow? Now we have a commemorative half. We're gonna open that up. This is 1946 S. The Booker T. Washington commemorative ran for a few years. I think it was, what, 1954 they stopped? Fairly decent mintages. Some were packaged and handled well, some were not. This baby is in brilliant uncirculated condition. You'll see 2 spots of tarnish on his cheek, which you can just make out there. Let's look at the back. And flip it back over. The back is blast white. And this is a peach. I have the price listed here at $20. And of course it comes in the vinyl flip. Or, excuse me, the acrylic flip. If I can get that lined up right. There we go. She'll close right up. Now these acrylic flips, they come in little plastic bags because the acrylic keeps the coin safe, but the bag keeps this from getting all scuffed up. So you can still take photos through the acrylic if you wanted to. Okay, next up. Do you like Ike? Me too. A 1978 S, proof Eisenhower dollar. It is a beautiful piece. Deep cameo here. Clear, deep mirror fields. Okay. I'm going to flip you over. I'm not going to take these proof dollars out, even though I have gloves on. Their size. Look, I'm just going to drop it, okay? Marty Pohl says, it's mine. Well, just send an email. And it's beautiful. I like the big scandal about the Earth here. Back in 1972, you had a number of them that don't have Cuba. You had, different dye varieties. And, well, it was like a stab on Castro. We've got the whole world, but he's not part of it. These are great pieces. My grandmother used to get these from work and give them to me, because they were still making the darn things. And let's see if I can get that under the scope. There we go. Sharp strike, full strike everywhere. And this is through the vinyl. Good looking eagle. And landing on the moon. With olives in tow. Here he is on the other side. That's 1978 S. Give you a decent look here. But there's no frosting. There's no toning. This is a peach. Yep, everybody likes Ike. And Ike was good, but geez, they're so big. So what's the government do? They said, oh, this is a great idea. And they said, we're going to make these smaller dollars. And they come up with a sea hag. Oh my God. Well, the coin is beautiful. No question about that. But I'm afraid Susan B. wasn't much to look at. Let's see if I can line these up. I'm going to also leave these inside the flips. We've got 1979, 1980, and 1981. All S, all proof, all gem. These are all type 1. Oh, except the 1980, which doesn't matter. These are all type 1 proofs. And again, the same reverse as the Eisenhowers. And all 3 of the darn things. So you get the whole batch. There it is. And that's her. Interesting thing with this web camera is see the blue color there? I'm getting some chromatic aberration is what they call it. See, the light enters the, whatever that is, a lens there, and is scattered like a prism. So you have blue over here and red over there. And it's called chromatic aberration. That's the way they work. Some of these digital cameras, you know, they'll develop further. And this one I've shown you a couple of times. What time we got now? Whoa, I'm barely halfway through. We're 45 minutes in. Okay, it's a 1909, as woody as they get. You will love this one. And I'm going to put this under the close-up because it's a smoking hot thing. Okay, woodies. I talked about these a couple of coin classes ago. That's when the metal used as an alloy, of course, this is copper with tin and zinc, and it doesn't blend quite well. And I have this effect where it's streaky. Now, this is really neat because the fineness of the texture here is so fine that it's difficult to, well, to focus on the coin. And I mean, it is hard, but let's have a look and see if we can find some contact marks. Alrighty. Do you see any problems with this? You can see the difference in the texture and the color. But in hand, well, it's a brown red looking thing, but it is delicious. See, the different metals in the woody tone differently. But I've got fantastic luster on this guy. Great color. I mean, I've got burgundies in here. Rich browns. And this guy is uncirculated. And in my opinion, is MS64. Alrighty, we'll get right in close. And you can look for wear. And you can look at the details on the letters, and the corners of letters and on the rim. Alrighty. And again, you see the fine grain here. I mean, it's less than the, some of these woodies, I can't get much closer. I mean, the texture will be as thick as, you know, as thick as the letters. This is thinner than the thickness of the letters. That's what we're talking about here. This is a beautiful piece. The price on this one is lost. Oh, the Eisenhower was 15, by the way. And the 3 proof SBAs as a set, all 3 of them are 18. The $6 a piece, and you'll find that to be pretty darn reasonable. The 1909 is $50, and I call it MS64 red brown. And you won't find a more gorgeous piece. And really, I could take 20 minutes just describing this guy. Scrumptious. They say describe coins as you would describe a fine meal. This has an afterglow that, oh, it's delicious. And there's your date. I checked it pretty thoroughly for doubling, and it's just a beautiful piece. And how are we doing for contact marks? Have we found any? Alrighty. Well, I'm going to set that aside. And I got to set this on right. You will not be disappointed in that coin. It's magnificent. Now I'm going to set this aside and get on to the next one. I was hoping to do this in an hour, but I think we might just run over. That's okay. If I get ahead of you and you want to go back and check on things, this video, this live stream will become a video about an hour after I shut it down. And set those. Oh man, I'm so relieved I haven't dropped anything yet. Give me time. Now we're getting into some wheat cents over here. Let's show you what's up next. Here we are. Okay, I've got a 1909. I can't tell. Let's look it over here. I can't tell if I look straight, so. And that is a VDB, it turns out. Outstanding. Could I focus here? Because I just bumped the thing. That's a 1909 VDB. And we're in AU condition here. We're going to go up and have a look. Oh, I do like these cameras, the way they're set up now. I'll give you a wide shot and a tight shot. I got a slight blemish down at the bottom, but looking at the wheat lines, clear, crisp, full of berries, just a trace of wear. The lines go all the way to the tips. Clean rim, good fields, and on the back, and the front, you'll find just a touch of, just a whisper of wear above the ear and on the high point of the cheek. So this is 1909 AU-VDB for $15. And the color, I can get back to the first camera and probably show that up a bit better. And the whole piece. Here we are, and I can bounce that around. I've got great reflection on this. There we are. And quite a light tone, especially around the devices. And that's a real peach. Next up, a 1910S in very fine. This is $20. We'll have a look at the other side. So I got some early date estimates for you to look at. And just stick around it here and have a look. And if you don't think it's very fine, well, call me names and send me hate mail. But I got separation of the cheek and jaw, and there's a lower end on the VF because I do have a couple of spots, but I do have a full clear ear. And the date, I checked the mid-mark, it is genuine. On the back, the berries are separate and distinct, and I've got lines all the way up. Okay, rim is clear of damage. That's a great piece to add to your collection. 1912 is next. I had a 1911S, but it's my only one, and I'm going to keep it. Anytime you see a 1911S, you grab it up, because according to population figures, there are fewer of those than there are 14Ds. This 1912S is very fine on the obverse, but the reverse is a bit weak at fine. So I've got a fine price of, did I write it down? $27 on this guy. Let's have a look. Where is it? There we are. Okay, as you can see in the reverse, they're just too darn blended together here, and the lines are not complete. Fine is the best I can do here. Alrighty. Let's take a look at the other side. I said the face it's better than the reverse without a doubt. I've got great detail. This is that fine price. Yeah. This one won't last. Next one is 1913S. And we'll slide that right over just a bit. There we go. This is very good condition and priced at $11. So we got some affordable early estimates here. And I'll get over to the back side in a moment. Let's catch up. There's some nice Lincolns. Well, I figured I'd start with the lower end and bring them up as I get more people involved. Marty Poles has the Booker, he says. I hope it's yours. Kent's coins move so fast. Yeah. Unless you're buying them, then they're blue shifted. The reverse on the 1913S. All right, we're going to need to put that under some magnification. Because if you're buying an early estimate, you want to know. A lot of these, they take 1943, well, maybe not this one, but like a 1942, and scrape off part of the 4, and they say, oh, it's a 1912S. Give me $25. But you see the one is centered, the estimate mark is a good match. And I've got some decent wear here, but I don't have, spots and blemishes and marks and rim dings and chews and scratches like that 54S I tried to sell you. Alrighty. And the back, as you can see, I've got some wheat lines, but I've got it's quite weak here. But for very good, this would be a fine addition to your collection. And that one is $11. We go to 1914S. And this is very good, priced at $20. You can see the color in the big one, but for the detail, we go to the small one. And there he is. Okay, the ear is there. I still have a jawline. Right, he's still got a forehead and some hair above there. Got a bow tie and some detail in the coat. And the date and mint mark checks out. We can get right in there and have a look. Oh, shoot. Oh, man, I'm caught. Oh, I'm okay. Everything's all right. Just return to your business. Okay, you ready? 1914S. I've got that narrow 4 over there. The wine is beautifully scented. And if I can get in a little closer, I believe you can see the little line in the serif of the upper part of the S. If I move that, I might be able to just see it. But that is the correct S. That is correct design. And on the back, I should have some berries and possibly just a bit of wheat lines. And what do we have? I've got some berries, just a little bit of wheat lines, but a full rim, clear blemishes, nicks, and rim dings. And at $20, you're going to find that's pretty darn decent. This is why people keep buying my stuff, because, you know, I'm not going to bullshit them. Next is a 15S. In very good, and we got some woodiness on this. However, we have some scratches. This comes in at $12. Let's have a look at her. 1915S, and you can see the woody grain on the right side. Not so much on the left, but definitely on the right. If I can get that focused well, you can see these are fine little grains. Not quite as fine as that 1909, but that's what we're looking at. Alrighty, and it's only on about a third coverage on this one, but the 1915S, the date is right, and the mint mark is right on. Okay, but I have a couple of scratches on here, which, well, they kind of take it down a bit. In this grade, you should expect a couple of scratches, but the bigger the scratch, the lower the price. That's the 1950S, and on the back side we have decent lines. Separation of the berries, and kind of weak over here. Alrighty, and that one is $12. Yeah, it's respectable. I'd be happy to. I'd be proud to have that coin. I'd be proud to sell it to you. I don't like to sell stuff that's, you know, all used up. There we go. 1922D. We got to have some good stuff in here. I mean, come on, you know. What's the sense of just selling beautiful Franklins and stuff? Okay, 1922D. This guy is in fine condition, priced at $16. And looks like this. There he is. Okay, I've got a well-defined upper cheek line, well-defined jaw, clearly defined ear, bow ties on right. Not a bad-looking fella. It's a regular old D mint mark, but the reverse is a strong strike. All right. On these 20s, it is tough to find them, you know, with strong detail in the wheat ears. And that's what I have here. Now I call this fine because some of the berries are mushed together and don't have complete lines. But there we are. The rim is sound. And if you want to get your set filled, get some decent coins. $16 on this 1922D. Alrighty. Next up, this is out of order. I have a 1957 Flying Eagle scent. Well, this is a good spot as any for it. This is where it ended up. I've got a $20 bill on this one. I've got great detail, but you're going to find on the back I got some issues. The wear is a bit uneven on the front. But these typically go for 25 bucks in good. All right. I got a bit of a blemish above his eye, but that's not too bad. On this one, the issue is the wear up here. She's fleshing in from the outer edge, but I can still see the entire wing. Of is about gone. But if you want a Flying Eagle scent and work on your type collection, it's a pretty decent way to start. Ezekiel just made a cup. I've got coffee. It is on the floor because it ain't going to be on this desk right now. All right. And 1857. This is a really great date to have. These are copper nickel, but you can see here the scratches that I'm talking about. But the detail in the leaves, it's exquisite. If it weren't for those marks, this would probably be a very good coin, and I'd probably call the reverse fine. But, well, the front's a little bit weak for fine, I tell you that. Okay, that's an 1857, and it is $20. Now we got some BU wheats, because everybody loves BU wheats. Okay, no, come to me. 1942, we got all three of them, P, D, and S. You're gonna love these. I've got brilliancy across everything. Great color on these, great tone, uncirculated. The three coins together are $15, and they're a real good match set on these. Now I do have on the P a bit of a darker area. Well, they are going to tone, but let's stick them under here one at a time. Make sure they're suitable quality. There you can see that darker spot. This is 1942P. And flip him over and have a look. There's Abe. Very easy on the contact marks, very light. But you do have a few slight blemishes. You put that in your albums, and she's going to glow like phosphorus burning. And the 1942D here. There you are. Now you can see the color difference between these two cameras. That's why I shake it to the side, left and right, so you can see the luster. It's a great cartwheel on these. And have a look at the other side. Clean, crisp, sharp. You don't have it, you know, the O and E isn't all run down and blushed out. You get that a lot because the vest on the other side is takes up so much volume of the metal. A lot of times you'll see it on the O more than anything else. You get a weak strike. So that's going to get you home. And we'll take a look at the S. So I can get it right side up. Great color on this one. Good details. 1942S. And a couple of blemishes on the back. Alrighty. Next item is 1944. Another match set. Here we go. Can I switch this around and give you some color variation to look at those? Okay, we'll look at the P, the D, the S. Brilliant uncirculated. This is $8 for the three of them together. And there we are. Again, a good sharp strike. There will be a few blemishes. I don't call it choice BU. In the back, you're going to see an equal amount of love. Left side around. That's the P. We'll look at the D next. You know, you put together a set of Lincolns that are all BU, you're going to have something quite impressive. 1944. The best I've ever been able to do, I had a set, it was all BU back to 31. Of course, the S I had to get cheap on. But before 31, all the all the Phillies were red, and their PDB was screaming. I mean, it looked like this box. It was so red. But a lot of the D's and S's were not. I got a couple of contact marks here, one on the rim. My current best goes back to 34 in BU. And there's your 44S. Great smile lines on Abe. Okay, and that's $8 for those three. Next on the list is, where are we? 1945. I don't have 43s right now. Give me time, I'll get them. And the 45, you're going to find the same quality as you had in the 44s. And if I can switch that around, you should see the luster. Okay. Over to the scope. 1945. A few slight blemishes, but a very sharp strike. Flip it over. Now on these Lincolns, I've got acrylic holders. If you'd like to go that route, they are 50 cents a piece. Otherwise, they'll be shipped in the vinyl flips. All right, ship in padded envelopes. Pad and pad and pad. 1945D. A little bit streaky. I don't think it's woodiness. I think it's just streaky. There you go. No, that is a bit woody. But just a little. And the S is next. I'm going to look over at chat here and see how we're doing. Yeah, me too. I'm writing them down, says Ezekiel. You can watch the whole thing in about an hour. 1945S. Delicious. Nutritious. Good and good for you. Make yourself feel good and just get a whole set of wheats. Great color and tone on this one. I get a couple of spots here where it's a bit brighter. Just the way it's toned over the edges. Kind of yellower. Probably some sulfur contamination. Where does that come from, they say? Onions. Onions. Garlic. Mostly onions. There's sulfur all around us. Okay, now I got some other earlier mint marks. I got a 1911D. And this guy is, well, it's $5. Very good condition. Let's have a look here. 1911D is a better date. And this one's quite a respectable piece. Almost has some separation on the cheek and jaw. It goes back to a smile line. But it's fully respectable. And the reverse, there it is. I do have a few contact marks, which is why it's at $5 instead of, $6.50 or $7. And now number 12. Is that just a 12? Yes, it's just a 12. Let's refocus here. Only takes a moment. Okay, it takes a couple of moments sometimes. I'm getting new to the camera's brand new yesterday, so I'm still trying to figure out how to, tweak it so it works right. Okay, there it is. I think that's as clear as we're going to get for a little bit. So we'll just take it straight over here to the camera. And 1912 is in fine condition. Does have some contact marks, but it's got great details. And we'll look at the back. This is $2. There's your full wheat lines on this side. Separated berries, a few small pits. Full lines here. And 1912D would be next. This guy's in good condition. I think this is the lowest graded coin I have available this evening. 1912D, the date and mint mark are right. That is a bit of a lamination above the date, but not enough of a lamination to really make it, standing out as an error. Okay, good condition. This is what it looks like on the back. Heavy wear, a little bit of pitting, but I still have a full rim. And all the words are legible. This is $5 for that. So the 1912 and 1912D, if you get them both, would be $7. And there is that 1912S I showed you earlier. It was $27. Okay, 1924D. Oh, look at it. Look at it. Just a start of separation in the cheek and jaw, but not enough to go beyond fine. Has a few small contact marks. Nothing stands out, however. The D is good and sharp. And on the back, I have a strong strike. I've got full wheat lines. Yes, there's some wear, but it is a stronger strike. And it's so hard to find good, sharp strikes on these 20s. Okay, and the A has a little bit of a contact mark on her. And for a 1920D, 24D, in very good condition, a little better, it's $23. And you find if you don't have one of those, you're going to want one. Man, I wish I had a 24D. And a 1931D to go with that 31S. This guy's coming in at very fine plus. Bit of a scratch in the field in front of his face, but the details on his face are very high grade on the VF scale. Date and mint marker look good. And flip it right over. Full wheat lines. Just a little bit of fuzziness on the berries where they come together. But for very fine plus, $5 bill. Now, remember all that coffee I had? I've got one more tray, but I need to take a moment and refresh myself, stretch my legs. I'll be back in a moment. There we go. Get the blood circulation going again. And I can see. And let's read what's going on. Christopher Scott says, hello, good to see you. Beth says, hey, Ken, thank you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I don't feel well. I hope you're feeling better tomorrow, Beth. Good night to you. Polly's here. He's listening. You're going through $800 in quarters and dimes. Polly never stops. He's a machine at this. Okay, let's get that last one in here. And I have a bunch of proofs. Because if you want a nice coin, it really ought to be shiny. And let's have a look, see if we're focused yet. Oh, I did not drop it. I'm so thankful. Okay, these are 90s proofs, and I got some 60s proofs. Seemed like a good idea. Because I got so darn many of them, I don't know what to do. Okay, 1990S. These are gems. I've gone through all of these. They're spotless, immaculate, deep cameo. This is as good as they get. 1990S comes in at $5. I can wiggle that around and give you a better idea of the quality of these cameos. So I can get that. Well, you've seen proofs before. They're beautiful. I can't get that first one to show. It's the upper, this one. No, there it is. Now you can see it. If I get the light just right, you can see. I mean, it's black and white on these. Maybe kind of black and blue. And again, that's the way the lens bends the light. Alrighty. And I don't want to pick these up because they're unprotected proofs right now. 1991 is also $5. And I want to get that one to sparkle. There we are. We got great sparkle on these. But no spots, no blemishes, no carbon spots. Everything you expect in a proof. I'm pretty picky with my proofs. 1992 comes in at $4. It's a little less popular when the proof sets were sold off, so they had some spares. If we get into 93, we start going up in price again. But rich cameos, deep across all the devices, all the letters. And these fields are, I mean, they're a foot deep. 94S comes in at $7. I have a couple of these available. This is all the proofs I have available right now, by the way, for the 90s. And you can see the color on these. Geez, they bounce right back at you. I'm sticking in my paperwork here. 1995S comes in at $8. And I get the light just right on those. You can see the fields on these. Is it a close AM on the 92? No, that's a proof. And it has a proof reverse. I have checked these for die varieties. And I'm pretty confident that these are just regular luscious coins. 1996, that comes in at $5. 97, we start hitting the big dollars. 97 is $10 per unit. I have 2 of them available. But they are tip top. If you want to complete your set, we've got what you need to just take it all away. And again, the acrylic holders are an extra 50 cents a piece. Now, I've got several of these. I picked up a bunch of them, and I offered them over time. They're still in the original mint wrapper. There's no blue stripe, so they're proofs. And I thought I sold them all off. Well, I'm going through the desk over there, and I found 5 more. No, 6 more. I found another one after that. 1960, 61, 62. I think there's a 63 in there. Now, one of the 61s is interesting. Has a really odd toning to it. Let's get over here. It's not a woody, but it's an atypical toning for sure. I think I tried this out. We can see it. Okay, you see how splotchy that is? That's darn peculiar. Still in mint wrapper, so was it a contamination? Is it a problem with the metal? It's a large date, 1960. Okay, large date 1960. These are all going together. We have another, if I can find it, large date 1960. Okay, now I've got a carbon spot on that one. Next is the 1962. And this is quite beautiful. There's no problem with this. Great fields. But you can see the mint cello leaves these circular marks because if when these things ship or get stored, that cellophane is going to compress on top of the rim of the coin and leave these circular marks. This one has some interesting toning, the 1961, right up here at the top of his head. Kind of hard to see here, but it's well, geez, it's almost blue. Let's see if I can come back to that first camera. And see the top of his head. It's not a carbon spot, that's toned. And it's blue-green. Real interesting color, but it's not an even, across the whole coin. Just this big one spot of blue and another spot right here, as you can see. Now, was that a contaminant? Because this thing's still in the original package. And it's sealed. Okay. And then we have 1960 again. And this is a real peach. This one's flawless. And the last one for the night, there we are, is 62 again. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 6 of these go for $4. Because I've already made out my money on these, so we'll just get them off the desk. Alrighty. And these are still in the original mint cello, and all 6 of those for $4. Now I showed you the copper round. Let me see if I can get that back to the big camera. There we are. These are just beautiful. People are really liking these. They came in spot. I got a few that are fingered up, and I'll just, I'll give to my brother for Christmas or something. Great design here. It's a Walking Liberty design. No date listed. The back is the same Walking Liberty Eagle. But for a 1 ounce copper round, it's a great coin. Where's that dollar gone? There's Ike on one side and the copper round on the other. It's a little bigger than the Ike. It's the size of a silver eagle. So 1 ounce, copper. And those are $2 a piece. I have 28 of them available. And man, they're got to be beautiful. You pass these out. I'll put those in vinyl flips, of course. I use my fingertip gloves when I handle those. There they are, because I don't want to get these fingered up. They're just gorgeous. But it's a beautiful pink, pink copper color. And you pass those out for Christmas or put them in somebody's stocking. Say a young kid. You're going to have a new collector in no time. I mentioned the flips we have. 2x2. These are unplasticized vinyl. $8 per 100. Now, if you only need, 50 and you're getting some stuff anyway, yeah, I can do that for, half price. So $4 for 50, $8 a 100. These guys, 100 of them is 8 ounces, so I can get, several coins and 100 flips and get under the 12 ounces. 200 flips hit 16 ounces and just a hair more, but I'll ship it out. But that's $4 shipping for 200. If you have 200 flips plus some coins, we're going to get up into priority mail. So what we can do is figure out what it weighs and then figure out how many more of these you want on top of that. Now I've got albums, but they went fast. Where'd they go? Now I've got Lincoln Books #1 and #2. If you put your coins in here, over time they will probably tone, especially around the rims. But these are $4 a piece. If you want book 1 and 2, they are, 50 cents? It's $7.50. But I'm out. I have more coming, but it's going to be a week and a half. So you might want to just, hold off and then call me, hey, got them yet? And we'll go from there. But if I knew how many you wanted, I could make sure that we have enough on the way. These are 90 coins per book, brand new. It used to be white, but now they have a copper color on the front. Book 1 handles 1909 to 1940, all PD and S. So all those wheats that you're picking up here, you can fill your book. Book 2 handles 1941 to 1974. Okay, so you're getting into some memorials here. And I'm starting to fill up a couple because apparently I have a lot of wheats back here. And you fill these up with all BU, it's an impressive sight. So consider those if you don't have a collection. And I'll probably be getting some more pocket pages. So you can set up your own binder. It makes no sense to buy and ship these binders in the mail. Look around. Walmart has them for, pretty fair prices. I don't offer the paper inserts. However, we do have the pages. I have more coming. Fellow in Mississippi just took every last one I had on the pages. But they're not too bad. 30 cents a piece. How many do you like? They fit 20 coins. And either the cardboard or vinyl will fit in there. There's one. I have the Susan B. Anthony dollar. But these are not in stock right now. And they just slide right in, as you can see. And just slide them right out and put in something new. But these will let you custom design your own binder. Let's say you want all the proofs in one section. They're pretty slick to have. Oh, and I have 2x2x9 boxes of it, which I can't reach. There we are. These are $2 a piece, but the very nature of their size demands that we go to priority mail, flat rate envelope, so $7.50 shipping. And that'll fit 3 of these, and inside, well, we can fit 100 flips. Alrighty. So that's something to think about. I think the best size is 3 of them at a time in the priority mail. Otherwise, we jump up to the flat rate medium box, and you fit 6 of these. But I don't have a whole lot of boxes. One more thing I had to show. Oh, the loops. There we are. If you don't have a loop yet, get the loop. This will fit in the point of the stocking, you know, Christmas time, and then the kids can go out and, you know, burn ants and stuff. Put them in the sun. That's what I did. Alrighty. Let's have a look here. Coin Dragon says, "Oh yeah, send me the invoice for Linda's too. I'll take care of that there, Frank." And we'll go from there, folks. I want to thank you for stopping in. If you'd like to order any of these items, you'll find my email address right up there. We'll get together. We'll make sure we have everything right before it ships out. If you want to order more things, you know, over the next month, I can do 30 days on the invoice. I'm usually listing items on the Coin Up Facebook group. I'll make sure to put that link down below. But PayPal is the best way to operate. It gives the buyer protection and it gives the seller protection. All right, folks. Now tomorrow, a reminder, 3 o'clock, we have the coin class. Tomorrow I'll be doing grading, how to grade your coins and how to put together your own reference set for grading. Okay, I want to thank you guys and good luck. We'll do it again, hopefully. We'll see you later.